Hello. I think we're live here. Let's try joining the general chat.
Oh, ZZ. ZZ.
ZZ.
ZZ.
Panda forever.
Zyle Zulu.
Zulu.
The man's
ZZ.
victory. Total Zulu victory.
Zal Zulu. Zal Zulu. Zal Zulu.
Oh my god, I can't hear myself.
Zulu.
You know, man, I want to comment on the argument you were having with TV or whatever he was saying. There's a really easy way of looking at the argument
Zulu.
in terms of the direction like you're pointing, right? I think there's a way you can think about it. Like when the person who argues for closed borders because of the welfare state, you just look at them and say, you're arguing for a state policy as a band-aid to one of the state policy's problems. But you realize that when you do that, the new state policy is going to cause some problems. This is the Misesian regression regarding regulation, right? When you try to solve problems caused by state regulation with more state regulation, you're just going to cause new problems, which need more state regulation until you reach total communism. The direction the arrow is pointing is more statism, right? Whereas if you take the abolitionist position, right, like we're going to abolish the borders and there's going to be problems caused by the welfare state. So we're just going to abolish the welfare state next. And then there's going to be problems by like whatever the welfare state was trying to solve. And we're going to abolish that until we reach total anarcho-capitalism. And then we're going to be based. Like, just look at the direction that the arrow is pointing.
I mean, that's the problem with them. They don't think in a long term. They actively, like, and we have seen multiple times, they actively, like, participate in, like, a high time preference thinking. So trying to argue with them on that basis inherently fails because they don't have the same preference as you do.
I think you're foreign-born people vote for socialism. Like, that's so like tertiary.
I think you're going by far. Not that they don't think long term; it's that they don't think at all.
Literally, how does this help me in the short term? It was one of the things he said in the chat. One of the things he actually typed out. How does this help me in the short term, guys? Like, oh my god, he can't look at where the arrow is pointing. He is completely blind.
Yeah, no,
And you know, one of the arguments that I have against this is also, first of all, of course, the arrow has to be pointing towards abolition. And if all fucking change causes problems, like which change doesn't, right? But which change leads us towards the good thing? That's where we should go. And that's why I say I don't particularly, like, I have like personal preferences on what I would like to see abolished first. But if anything is being abolished, I don't care if it's like one tiny regulation. It should be abolished and it should be done right now. That's why, like, advocate abolition as a principle. It doesn't matter where. It
I would
doesn't
like
matter
to
in
just butt in
immigration or
real
anywhere.
quick. I just want to butt in real quick.
Yeah.
I have published my post specifically atting Dave Smith, calling out Dave Smith.
Okay.
I've published that now.
small question.
So I will
have a
put
small
that in the feeds, in the Twitter feed. Everyone.
Everybody.
Fuck it, everyone. Here's my new fucking post.
Yeah.
Everyone gets on with
There's
that.
10,000 spam Twitter. Number one trend.
You want
Taking over Twitter today, guys. It's ours
ZZ,
today.
Zal
We're gonna
Zulu.
make Zulu the number one trending or Zal Zulu. You know,
Zal Zulu.
number one trending on Twitter. Zal Zulu.
Zaza. Zaza.
What was the Twitter account you were posting into the chat? Then like the live stream chat. That was like I don't know, some parody Neoprag parody account. Who was that? Who is that?
I think, like, if I remember, it's called like Neoprag spells their L's.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I didn't hear it. That's great.
I think my friend Lazafair Corvid runs it.
I will say I'll leak now. I temporarily took over the Mises Arizona at on Twitter because
That was why it was based.
because I know the person who really should have run it the whole time. I know him, and he was like, we have to get rid of this because of the fucking, whatever Mises corporate or whatever it is. And I was like, you know what? I'll just take it then. And then I just
Has
took
that
it.
been you the last few days then?
No, not the last few days. I took it over. I was Mises Arizona for a while, and I was talking shit for quite a while.
long time. Okay.
I was
Yeah.
talking shit for a while, and then eventually.
What time period?
You can see the account is now the account that I took over is now called Neoprag Larper.
Oh, that's the account. Okay.
Foreigners getting involved in our politics.
Yeah, it's been through all this, like, he's actually secretly controlling every single one of the LP accounts. He's just like admitting to this one specifically.
Zulu actually is Dave Smith. He just
It's now called Neoprag Larper because Harrison asked me to give it back to him, and then I said Arizona Mises parentheses Mises AZ, who had me on his podcast twice and endorsed me for the LP presidential nomination, who knew and understood my views, uncharacteristically forced me to give up my @ for him. What did I say? Did I trigger him? I was replaying all the highlights. But one big one I did on this account whilst I was at Mises AZ, which I took. By the way, the Mises Caucus does not have this @ anymore because I took it from them. I gave it back to the people who should have it. What I took from them was, imagine yourself in my position. No, don't. You don't need the grief. Even if I only imagined, etc., etc. That is actually a literal quote of a tweet from Michael Rexenwald. He literally said this shit. And, I actually run this account. I can go into, I don't actually logged in here. But I run this account. The Neoprag Larper account. That's my account.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see this.
Like
Hang on.
Zulu's
Did
the
you post
captain. He's the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And brother, it was amazing. Like,
I gotta give also praise to the video. It was very well paced and
very
Yeah, it was
well.
great.
beautiful. I have to say, it for some reason, like the early parts of the video, I don't know if it was just me. I hope it was just me, but like it kind of like reminded me of the TNO, like fucking from the Hoi Format TNO style, because it had like this similar like I don't know how to describe it, like the new it looked like it was coming from a nuclear bunker and was ready to set off some troops. You feel me? I hope it was just me, but it was beautiful. I'm crying right now. My tears are running down my cheeks.
Which cheeks?
To make a
My
noob.
eyes, specifically.
My cheeks.
Searching
I
for.
was edging for like 3.5 hours. Like it was beautiful.
I think my friend tried this one.
It's amazing to see how much better he gets at editing videos every time he goes around.
And it
Yeah,
had really improved.
Yeah, Pride Pollution.
That's great, yeah.
The Zulu era is going to begin.
The
Yep.
fucking punished Zulu era.
Brother, like seriously.
This time it won't be a bubble.
Mhm. If you look at a lot of these now big but earlier smaller YouTube channels, which had a lot of these influencers, like Zulu is just way better than them. Like we'll get there. Believe me, we'll get there. And when we do, like this movement has the capability and the balls to take over probably multiple countries. And I'm not kidding. Like I genuinely believe it. I genuinely
Inshallah.
believe
Like,
Yeah.
kill
Let it be so.
status.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
No. We just enslaved them.
He's true.
So true.
No, we had this whole argument has gone past. You can't divorce your body from your free will unless you lobotomize yourself.
From the
You
rest of
can't.
the bodies. No,
Oh my-
I love all my people.
No. We do not
But
kill
the true
people. We
clear war will
enslave
happen,
them.
and the true clear Holocaust will happen. I'm telling you. So many troops will be dropped. It's gonna be incredible.
Total pragmatist death.
Also, coming back on the Liberty Plus argument that I was having half the video. So, one interesting issue that I have with these people is that, like they see the world around them and they allegedly have these libertarian principles and they see the huge amorphous state which, rob off half their money. It like fucks with their life in like a million different ways. And their biggest problem is that there might be a neighbor in their neighborhood who disagrees with them on a couple of things. Because every one of their neighbors is a socialist. It's a difference in degree, as the guy admitted, right? And so the problem is that he has a neighbor who disagrees with him on a couple of things, and he wants the state to kill that guy. Like get that guy, right? Not kill, but like do whatever to get that guy. That's his big problem. Yeah, exactly. That's his big problem, right? That's what the state is not doing. So what these people do is that they claim our principles, but instead of advocating for our principles, like every person has a finite amount of energy which they can devote their time to. And in my opinion, like should you not just devote your time, all of your time to just advocating the principles? That's the most energy efficient thing to do. Why do you want the state to come and harass your neighbor? And then, of course, you lose the right to criticize the state because you have shown that you are okay with the state harassing people, the state, kidnapping people. Then why shouldn't the state do it to you? And what do you think the state will do with all of this apparatus that it is building up for deportations? What do you think they'll just abolish themselves? What are we, Marxists here? The fucking stupid people, man.
Just to poo-poo themselves.
I think I need to like make a thing of this. Like look at which direction the arrow is pointing, and that's what you need to know. Is the arrow pointing towards we're gonna keep going towards communism, or are we going towards liberty with this policy? Closed borders. The arrow is pointing towards communism. Which way is the arrow pointing, ladies and gentlemen? Look at the arrow.
Exactly.
We're going to close the borders, and then we're going to send the U.S. military on the border, and then we're going to search everyone's cars. Everyone has to fill out their immigration forms. Carry your papers with you. Which way is the arrow pointing, ladies and gentlemen? The arrow is pointing towards communism.
Exactly. And these people, like they say, they see that, a huge police state is coming about. People are being picked up on the street and, there are huge fences and walls going up around them. And they see that this is a good thing. Like the creation of a prison around them is a good thing. And they call themselves libertarians. Well, they're blind and idiots.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
I
think one of the
do
bigger-
have a few points I want to go over for this follow-up. First of all, is my prediction. Will Dave Smith, and I actually bring this up onto the stream so people can really see this as my literal prediction. Will Dave Smith watch or respond to the video?
I think he watched it live. I don't think he'll respond to it.
I think
You
he's
think
probably not
Dave
going
Smith was in the premiere?
Yeah, he's probably sitting here. I genuinely think that might be happening.
possibly
He might be
possibly.
doing that.
I think-
Or he
I
might be
think
watching later.
Possible.
I don't think he's going to respond in any sort of depth. Is my prediction.
Maybe sneak this.
He's
Yeah, I
gonna
doubt
he's
it.
gonna
We'll sneak this.
he's
I
gonna
mean, how
have
could
plenty
he?
of sneak disses. He will have plenty of sneak disses. But I think his
24 says
general
he'll call
response
Zulu
will be
goofy.
some sort of cope like, "Oh, it's too long. This guy's just relevant." You know, just keep
You know what would
rehashing
be funny?
all of the things I just said in the video about.
3.5 hours.
He'll just
He's
keep
orbiting me.
rehashing everything that I said in the video. He'll just rehash it all. That is my thought about how Dave Smith will respond to the video.
I think he doesn't have any other choice. I mean, you've pointed out he doesn't have enough actual, like, theoretically, like, actual knowledge over the theory that he's supposedly preaching. So so I think he still has enough self-respect in himself that he would realize, okay, if I try to attack this guy or try to, like, sit down with him and have a debate, I'm gonna get beat the shit out of me. Like, I think he actively knows that he's too incompetent to face off against you or anyone else in this VC. As you've shown yourself in the video, so I think that's his best option. Honestly,
I think
he's an.
I don't know. My speech. Oh, go on.
we have to continue. We have to continually torment Dave Smith about this matter. Like he has every
ZZ
he
in
has to be
chat.
reminded. He has to be reminded.
Harassment campaign.
Yeah, we have to be reminded that Geek Zulu is following him around. The most consistent motherfucker he knows is Liquid Zulu. He knows Liquid Zulu. He knows Liquid Zulu is, and Liquid Zulu is the most consistent motherfucker that he knows. And that means that he is not the most consistent motherfucker. In fact, everyone in Liquid Zulu's chat is more consistent than he is. You know, he has to constantly, it has to be in his mind 24/7. He can't live it down. It has to be constant humiliation.
That's a guy real quick. Zig Zulu. Zig Zulu.
Zulu.
Big Zulu.
Zulu.
Zig Zulu.
Big Zulu.
Big Zulu.
Zig Zulu.
Big Zulu.
You know, that is honest, like, all that can be done. Because Dave Smith, he can just come up with infinity excuses for not debating me. Like, I don't think Dave Smith is going to debate me unless it's, like, forced on him, basically. I don't think this will
Gene
even work.
Epstein goes to his house. He's like, "You're going to be debating Liquid Zulu.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you deported to El Salvador."
It's gonna take, like, fucking an actual, like, divine intervention to get Dave Smith to debate me at this point. But I guess my main idea is
Divine
just
intervention. Then, like,
you know, Dave Smith I just want to have just the constant idea of me debating him rattling around in his head constantly. He just can never have any peace because he is constantly evading the idea of me debating him. That's what I want to happen to Dave Smith. I want him to be just constantly on the back foot, constantly like, no, I can't debate him for this reason. No, I can't debate him for that reason. You know, just constantly like, bashing off the sides of his skull. It's a very small skull, but I want that to happen. Just reverberating around. That's what I want to happen to Dave Smith. And I think that would be a kindness upon him.
Well,
It would be a kindness because Dave Smith really is. He's an awful person, and you know some people they ask me, well, why do you hate Dave? Why do you go so hard on Dave Smith? Well, I mean, I have an answer to that. It's because I hate him. I really do hate Dave Smith. I think Dave Smith is an awful person.
3.5 hour video
I
ripping
wish
on him specifically.
I wish very much harm upon Dave Smith. I don't like the man. I really do not like the man.
Yeah, no.
I think he deserves bad things to happen to him.
Yes.
And that's just my honest opinion. I do not like Dave Smith one bit. Not even a single bit. You know, some people
his treason.
Give it to me, Mr. President.
yeah, they think that it's like what can I do? You know, I approached Dave Smith in good faith. I approached Dave Smith.
never dug
I
deeper.
said, well, here's what I want to debate you on. And what did he do? He subtweeted me for a year. And then, you know, this is what it is. Now, here's what you get, Dave Smith. This is what you get, Dave Smith, after a year of subtweeting. You get this video. I hope you like it.
Yeah.
What is subtweeting?
If you said it, you said it would take divine intervention. So if Dave Smith actually does agree to debate you, would you rethink your atheism?
Would you become a theist?
Lisan al-Gaib does not rethink.
What are you talking about? Zulu is God.
Lisan al-Gaib knows.
Zulu,
Yeah.
That whole section about
Which one?
conservatives psychologically wanting to protect their values, and that's why faith they end up in faith at that point. It's not like faith was particularly attractive. It's just the only other alternative that they see. It's just dogmatically asserting their values. That was a good section.
I think that was masterfully done.
You see, Dave Smith believes in divine command theory. So what it would take is that a divine command is given to him that he must debate Zulu. That's what it would take from debate Zulu.
Well, we have a way to invite
to tell him that.
Yeah, we have a way to get that, which is first of all, the product just became more expensive. So I don't think that's enough. I think that the fact that Dave Smith doesn't want to debate Liquid Zulu, that's off the table now. I don't think Dave Smith needs to debate Liquid Zulu anymore. I think Liquid Zulu already debated Dave Smith. Dave Smith lost. Now there is time, if he really wants it, if he asks for it very nicely and politely, with exactly the requirements that Liquid Zulu has, then he might get a positive answer for a rematch. So Dave Smith lost Liquid Zulu in their first debate by not showing up and getting destroyed, which always happens when you don't show up. And so now the price is higher. And this price should be announced to all the premier debate panels, to the Crucible, to Modern Day Debates. It should be the strategy.
What is the price, Casimir? What's the price that Dave Smith wants?
No, I'm feeling very generous. I'm feeling very generous right now. The debate has to be in person, and Dave Smith, being the more powerful player, should pay for it.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he has to pay for Zulu's plane ticket.
Yep.
They have to do a
He should pay for all of our plane tickets.
Zulu, a long time ago, I had a guy who wanted to debate me, and I was feeling very trolly. So one of my friends decided to sub in for me, but I didn't tell my opponent it wasn't going to be me. So
I know that one.
Like 2 hours. You know that one? Okay.
It's the neocon, isn't it? The neocon?
Yes. Yeah.
This is I remember we're gonna load all the white people on the heat onto the USS facility and have he/Israel blow it up.
Yes, that was it. Yeah. You can do something like that, Zulu. You can have someone. Yeah, he/Israel. That's his problem.
Here's another idea for you, which is you have a 3-hour video. Obviously, Zulu is now forced to do the tick move, which is, my Hitler video is 4 hours long. It's too long, you say. Here's a 1 hour supercut, and then here's a 15-minute supercut for the really obtuse, and then the shorts. But I propose another thing. A competition for the best and most destructive music video of the most juiciest moments in the debate.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Who would win in a live twerk off, Zulu or Dave? That's the real question.
Depends who's oiled up.
Mass. So he'd probably win.
It was an unserious question, but thank you for the answer. I appreciate it.
Just look at Zulu, man.
Although isn't Dave Smith a sheath underwear model?
Is he?
He plugs sheath underwear on his podcast, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, that's Michael Malice.
Michael Malice is actually the actual underwear model. It's just Dave Smith. This is just does the ads for them.
I guess.
That's his comedian career, I guess.
That's yeah. What's the funniest joke by Dave Smith? You should buy sheath underwear.
Yeah, no, I want to state that bit for the people listening to the live stream. I have this bit running where when someone comes to me and they're Dave Smith defender, I just say to them, well, you know what? What's your favorite Dave Smith joke? And normally what they do is they say, why are you attacking Dave Smith? Which is, it's strange to me. Why would they identify that as an attack on Dave Smith? Because if I said to a Norm MacDonald enjoyer, if I said, what is your favorite Norm joke? Well, they would just say,
the moth.
Oh, I love the moth joke. Or I love the joke where he's talking about the fucking porpoise. Did you see that one on Conan? They rattle off a bunch of fucking jokes to me. But with Dave Smith,
9/11.
for some reason, whenever I ask, what is your favorite Dave Smith joke? For some reason, they're talking about, well, you're attacking Dave Smith here. That
They really
should say
understand
something.
what it means.
I think that says something there.
I mean, I've never seen Dave Smith.
Did they not know that he was a comedian?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's like he calls himself a comic.
Yeah,
I mean, his
there is
speeches are pretty funny.
It's good that he doesn't call himself a comic because I mean, he already has no credibility.
Yep.
He just wasn't that notable as a comedian, I guess. I
don't think they ever seen one of his jokes.
That a comedy, he had to become a libertarian.
Even Murray Rothbard.
You've seen like the Red Eye thing on Fox News, right?
Can
Like,
someone give a quick rundown?
Yep.
Like, when did you make a switch from comedian to libertarian? Like, where did you pop up?
I don't think the two were ever like separate. I don't think he was ever like a comedian in his own right. I think he was always like this kind of liberty activist within the confines of being like a comedian.
Hiding behind his title of comedian.
And I think Dave Smith, he has this one kind of funny joke, like not even really funny, but kind of funny. But that's the thing, like if you're calling yourself a comedian, like it's the fake language translator joke that someone does, like someone pointed out to me a little bit later, and it was kind of funny, not really. But like if you're calling yourself a comedian, you shouldn't have like one kind of funny joke, like you should have multiple funny jokes, right?
Well, realize I want to realize what he's doing in the fake sign language translator is he's just recounting a funny incident. Like it's just just something funny that happened, right? It's not a joke.
Yeah.
I mean that's a perfectly valid career, but it's not really a comedian's type of thing. Just to recount a funny occurrence, right? Like it's not like that's a setup and a punchline. That's just like isn't it strange that there was a fake sign language translator once upon a time?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing when you're
Stand-up
your
comedian.
first appearance on Kill Tony 1 month into the craft. Yeah, exactly. A funny story. But I think you guys are all wrong, just as a matter of fact. In fact, Dave Smith is a brilliant comedian. Although his style is anti-comedy, right? It's not easily understood. You see? For example, imagine doing this. Imagine in the span of a couple of years, you bring into the liberty movement, into the Mises Caucus, into the Rothbardian and Hoppian, thrust direction against the leftists. You bring in a socialist to become the nominee for the candidate for presidency, and that socialist ends up claiming to be a libertarian within a few months, and then a few months later he becomes a national socialist as soon as he loses the nomination, and posts articles in National Socialist publications online with certain, known conspiracy theories. Yes, this is funny. I mean, I'm laughing. I think it's hilarious, and this is not the only socialist he brought in.
It's about send a message.
I think Cheddar was right with his video about the libertarian to alt-right pipeline.
You mean Cheddar Mercia?
That's something more interesting because, like, that pipeline exists because of people like Dave Smith,
Yeah.
right? You don't see libertarians who like accept the nap.
Oh
People
yeah.
are like, I'm a naptist. You don't see people like that going like, and now I'm alt-right, and now I hate the Jews and I want them destroyed. You don't see that happening, right? What you see is people who are like, you know, vibetarians or linos, libertarians in name only, who are like, oh, I kind of want freedom for the white people, right?
Yeah.
But then when it realize the nap doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean like, you know, we're gonna have the white ethno state that's super cool and it's copying or whatever. It's like, no, that's just. That's not.
I love Vibetarian. I think we need to use Vibetarian more.
Yeah.
Not the real nap.
Yeah, I want to.
That's why
happens, right?
Libertarian to all pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Pipeline. We have the first one.
Christian fascist thing, right?
I like the
Ginger's white
Pipeline, which is when somebody really hates the Jews and is like a national socialist, then discover Hoppe and the natural law, and now they become like, I really hate the Jews, but they have to aggress first.
Imagine the alternate timeline where instead of making like a right coalition, Rothbard decided to make a left coalition, or suppose that Rothbard lived up to like 2005, and he was like, we need to make a coalition with the left anti-war crowd, right? And like, and in this time period, you have like the libertarian to bread tube pipeline. It would be the same problem, right? Because the idea is like you'd have people who get attracted to libertarianism because it promises them these leftist goals, right? It's like it's pragmatism, right? And then it's like when they realize that libertarianism on a principled position is not a pragmatist philosophy. It's like, no, you have to accept the non-negotiable principle because it is true, not because it like leads to, you know, I don't know, fully autonomous space communism, right?
Frogism.
You know, unfortunately, at least a fully autonomous space capitalism.
You know,
I hate to tell you. You have the same problem, right? That's the problem with the idea of trying to recruit people on their own terms, right? Their terms are not libertarian terms. You have to
Right.
recruit them as, you know,
Exactly.
Honestly, I was gonna say the like libertarian to bread tuber pipeline. Isn't that just like shoe on head?
Anybody who goes through any of these pipelines has never been a true libertarian. I have never seen someone who understands the ever change.
Romanian TV.
Have you ever seen someone who
not true libertarian trademark?
Exactly. Brother, that's the thing. They came as like they wore the jacket of libertarianism. They liked the aesthetic, and they moved on because they found a cooler aesthetic. That's what they do. It was never a part of them. So like, I think there's this article or a book, I don't remember, it's like Wayfarer Libertarian, something like that.
Waystation Libertarian, I think.
Yeah, Waystation Libertarians. And so that's what they were. They don't matter, irrelevant, don't care about them.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember. This was like,
go ahead, Ace.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, no. I was just going to say, I don't know if you guys remember, this was like either after Angela McArdle announced that Trump would be speaking or right after he announced. She made this video talking about the decision to invite him, to allow him to speak at the LNC. And basically her argument, and I'm not being hyperbolic. I don't have the video with me at the moment, but I'm not being hyperbolic about this. She literally said, you know, our party was founded by a lot of anarchists, and, you know, Donald Trump has been attacked by the state. So we sort of see him as a fellow traveler.
The convicted reef. The convicted reef it's an ally with the libertarians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all the time like
Oh my
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So like the libertarian and alt-right pipeline thing, I can definitely see it. Like there's because there's a thing, you know, like you know, because you know, we do have an instance where, you know, there was somebody who's from a libertarian belief system to something in that instance of alt-right. You know, we had Nick Fuentes, who was a libertarian, but he became a religious nationalist. You know, I think he talked about it in like he talked about it in that interview with Tucker Carlson. He used to be a libertarian somewhere. Like
What?
Yeah, that's gonna be a way station.
What attracted him to the libertarian movement? Was it that he truly like was interested in ethics and the non-aggression principle? Like, is this like the true ethic, rational ethics? Like, was he interested in that, or was he interested in libertarianism because he read, I don't know, Pat Buchanan? I like Pat Buchanan too, you know, and he's like, oh, libertarianism. It sounds like a good way for me to oppose Israel, right? Like that's you know, libertarianism as a means to me, you know, opposing wars or opposing Israel. Like for some reason, it does the things I like it to do, rather than libertarianism is the true and accurate description of the law.
Yeah, well, there's also another thing. There is also the other thing, which a lot of people they did not read even Buchanan. They just became like they just were attracted to. Oh, these people are into guns and weed. That's what these people are, and like these people don't think. Have you listened to Nick Fuentes talk? They think there is a brain between those ears. There isn't. Like, why are you giving him credit, right? Like, I get that you are a smart person, and that's why you think that okay, they just read the wrong books, but they don't read. They're retards.
Yeah.
I think there's also where
I would like to butt in here. I would like to butt in here. We were talking about Michael Rectenwald before, but not many people know this. But he actually had an AI pivot recently. He released this uncensored.ai thing, which it used to have an actual like, you know, Twitter lets you have these like business accounts these days. He used to have this where you could click on it and it would show that Michael Rectenwald with the big bozo behind it. So he's done a big AI pivot now. He runs this uncensored AI account. So I mean, that's fun. That's funny.
Yeah, it's right in time for the AI bubble.
But
he's hit it right on the downturn. Right on the downturn.
Yeah, he's going to capitalize on all the losses.
Yeah, indeed.
Jesus.
I have a friend who's like graduating in computer science and AI this year.
Bubble though?
Absolutely horrible idea.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like a good idea 4 years ago.
Classic prompt engineering.
Oh no.
You know,
that's my
the
bachelor's.
fucking .com bubble. Like every single AI, like prompt AI bot, it's just the same thing over and over again. Just like the fucking .com bubble. It's just like the same like shitty website, just replicated 2 million times. People just invested.
It's because they
are use Gemini all the time.
But that's a different coat of paint, right? ChatGPT, a different coat of paint.
It usually is just
like,
API
there is
code
real value
or some other
created in AI, but there is also a lot of fluff. So yeah, there will be kind of like whenever the downturn comes, there will be a lot of, you know, separating the wheat from the chaff. But overall, I do think that a lot of AI is here to stay. But not every other.
I couldn't be happy, honestly.
Yeah, does anybody here? Somebody here might know about. You know, there's this allegation. This is one thing which I deliberately didn't include in the video. First of all, because I don't think it necessarily pertains to pragmatism. And second, Angela's pretty litigious about this. Does anybody here know about her alleged embezzlement?
Yeah, I think I know a little bit about it, but I don't know the like incredible specifics necessarily of each detail.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What about it?
Speak.
One.
So basically, like her boyfriend, allegedly, he essentially was she brought him on as like this LLC and had him run events, and she was essentially funneling money to him without the rest of the LP essentially knowing that he was running that that other organization essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because what
they knew more than they say they knew. To be clear, like I've talked to a few people who were ex-board and stuff, and they knew more than they were letting on, and so it's not as clean as she was just misleading people.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of
what I've heard is like, she was basically just funneling a whole lot of money from the Libertarian Party into, you know, her own people. And you know, what I've heard is that her whole strategy around RFK, the reason why she was so big on RFK is because she was expecting some sort of job under RFK in the administration. That's what I've heard. But I didn't have enough evidence to prove that, and I'm not looking to be sued by Angela McArdle. Which, by the way, I do want to say, the fact that she's going out there, and I can prove this, the fact that she's going out there and threatening people with lawsuits who are talking about this type of thing, the fact that that is already an aggression. She is already an aggressor. So Angela McArdle, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, whore. I fucking whore. I don't like you at all.
You should just call her Walter Block.
Piece of shit.
Just call her Walter Block.
I don't like her one bit. And honestly, I would be happy. I'm just saying this. I would be happy. Maybe I shouldn't say that actually. I won't say that. But you know, Angela McArdle, she has violated the non-aggression principle when she did that. I got very angry at that specific thing. And that's the difference between me and Dave Smith. Dave Smith, he got angry at people for trying to uphold the NAP. I'm getting angry at Angela McArdle right now because she's violating the NAP. She has actively threatened people with aggression. She has threatened people with aggressing upon them. And that's why I'm so angry at her. And that's why I don't give a shit about Angela McArdle. I shouldn't say that. I really do not like her.
One girl in the video.
I'm gonna actually prove that most of the
I think
drifters, like,
I think we get what Zulu is trying to say, and I think we agree.
I'd like to make a point of something funny here, where it appears to me that the Mises Caucus, in selecting Michael Rechtemold, were literally selecting like Ellsworth M. Toohey from the Fountainhead to be the candidate. Like I have to confess, despite I watched the Leonard Peikoff's History of Philosophy like a year ago or a year and a half ago. I got into I listened to I think what's the book called? Objectives of Philosophy, Ayn Rand, and Introduction to Epistemology. But I never actually got to Ayn Rand's fiction until this year, like this month. I started listening to The Fountainhead as an audiobook. And Ellsworth M. Toohey, I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, oh my god, a socialist academic? And he's just full of hatred and envy, and like he hates good people. And I look at Michael Rechtemold, I'm like, why does Ellsworth M. Toohey come out of the pages of this book and become the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus nominee for presidential candidate?
Yo, guys, sort of interruption. Apparently, within the last 3 hours, we just got Fabian on the open border side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finally.
Only a matter of time.
Fucking finally.
Air high five, everybody. Everybody get an air high five, especially look at
Is it still a gradualist? Is it still a gradualist?
Another Zio Zulu. Get another Zio Zulu for this absolute double.
Zeke Zulu. Zal Zulu! Zal Zulu!
Zig Zulu or something like that.
Zulu!
Der Syrer.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Pagan Liberty posted on Twitter it 3 hours ago. I have been so libertarian for years, but I can no longer support this stance. Giga Chad, he's done it.
Zal Zulu. Honestly, we all need to Zal Zulu.
Zeke.
Zal Zulu, Zal Zulu all the way. We will never let you down. And I'll never hurt you.
Zig Zulu or something like that.
Very interesting.
Has its effect on many people, as we can see.
I mean, he called him
Nuclear war. The nuclear war will leave no survivors among the enemy.
6 million frags dead.
Will be converted. It's true. Look at your neighbor, socialist yesterday, today, and anarcho-capitalist, Rand fearing man.
Yeah.
It's true. Look at
Rand fearing. Rand fearing man.
Everyone, look at your neighbors. Talk to your friends. Convert them. It's important.
Yeah.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's no job greater than Isaiah's job. It's the greatest job in the world. I tell you.
That's
I'm the best man at converting them. It's unbelievable.
I had them go out. I had them go out, look at all the jobs. They checked all of the jobs, and they came back to me and said, "Isaiah's job, sir, Mr. President. Isaiah's job is the best job."
There's one more point on my bulletin here to bring up, and it is allegedly Angela deleted the whole donor database for the whole LP. The whole LP, they have this certain donor database that is database of all the donors, and then
That was deleted.
they got rid of it. I
think it was an accident or incompetence.
Well, there's this
coincidence, guys. Just a complete coincidence.
There's this one.
There was a CRM change. I haven't heard that she actually just deleted it like out of malice.
Well, I'm not saying malice, but there is this one screenshot that I have. By the way, I have a lot of screenshots from the Discord server of the Mises Caucus. I have a lot of their screenshots, and actually, as it turns out, they're saying that I'll just read this out for everybody who's listening. This is David Hines, who is one of the big guys behind the Mises Caucus. He's like one of the founders, I believe. He's responding to Hani, who's asking. He said, David Hines said, "What is success? Do we have the same definition of what a successful LP looks like?" Hani said, "Not deleting the donor list would be a good start." And then Hines said, "Man, if only there had been people with technical expertise present to consult on such matters." And then Matthew Hartley says, "What does this even mean? Are you saying you had nobody that tell you that deleting prod was bad? Are you saying that you talk to people about deleting prod, and in their professional opinion it is fine?" So, I mean, this is an interesting sort of bind for the Mises Caucus to be in, where they are deleting the entire donor database, because there really isn't a good interpretation of it. The best interpretation of it is they just fucked up. But then that is like, okay, well, then they're just really incompetent. They just deleted the entire database. Why did they do that?
Either way, like even
what?
if it was on purpose,
What were they trying to do?
Best situation.
Why did they?
You know,
what were they trying to achieve when they were deleting the donor database? It's very confusing.
I
can supposedly switching to like a different type of software, right? They were switching between but they just hit the delete button too early. Lol them out.
So there's a combination of things. One is national, so the national database is gone. All the states are doing their own. as far as some of the CRM stuff goes. And so, for example, I'm in Michigan. In Michigan, we decided not to change, but we had to change the background, like where all the data was stored. And so maybe something got deleted there. I haven't heard of anything specific of them deleting something. I do know that the MC will copy data they're not supposed to have. So like when you're in an organization, you know how you have to sign like non-disclosure agreements and stuff? Like you make an agreement like, hey, if I show you something, blah, blah, blah. I do know the MC regularly funnels any information or data from organizations they're in into the MC. So it probably doesn't matter if they did delete the LP donor data because they have it internally themselves. So it's still
well,
there.
no, that doesn't follow.
Also,
hold on. It doesn't follow from the fact that they have NDAs. Like I know what NDAs are. Like I've signed NDAs before. That doesn't follow from the fact that they have NDAs. That therefore they already have the data. Like it's possible to delete that data.
No. What I'm sorry. Maybe I misspoke a little bit. What I was saying is that I know from being involved in things that like to be able to access things, I have to sign blah blah, bunch of paperwork, whatever. I know that part of that is I can't funnel party data or libertarian data, donor lists to certain groups or organizations. I know that the MC people, not necessarily directly in the MC, but MC people will funnel it into several like side groups. And so they have all of that data. So deleting it at the LP level doesn't matter to them because they have it.
Okay, so you're...
If that makes sense.
Can I repeat back to you to see if I understand?
Yeah.
So what I understood from that is basically that it doesn't matter that they're deleting it at the national level because they've already funneled it off to all these other places.
Yeah, for them. I mean, I'm not saying for everybody else. I mean, not for the LP, but internally for the MC, they don't care because they have the data. They still have it. It's
okay,
so on the computer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they've already like sequestered the data elsewhere, and then therefore it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of states where they have made moves. Nothing that like
you have the data somewhere else where it's not supposed to be that should be accessible somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, specifically people having access to data that are like they're able to midstream snag it, if that makes any sense. So like,
and it lets it like middle copy. Okay, that's quite cute.
Yeah, so yeah, like when you submit a form, the form submission goes to the central whatever file where they're keeping everything, the database where they're keeping everything, but a copy of the form is accessible to somebody. They don't do it directly. I mean, I don't think they're that, well, maybe they are that dumb, but I haven't seen anything where you could like snag someone where like you saw like, oh, we went in, we moved it to the recycle bin, and then we hit delete. Like there's nothing like that explicit that I've seen.
So you're basically saying it's been cached.
Yeah. They swept it all up.
Also, like with databases, like it's not like any sort of large firm or like a large organization would have backups or backups. Like they'd have an archived cold storage. They would have redundancies for the database there. Like there is no way that such a database would cease to exist unless it was some sort of a deliberate action. I would refuse to believe that story.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It's like it's a file. It's a file, and that file is shared upon like across multiple servers. And they would like the libertarian, like the LC, wouldn't have. And the Mises workers, they would have a backup policy. Like if you were to go into like their actual documents, they would have they would have like a 3-2-1 backup policy. And like I refuse to believe like there's a lot of like boomerisms, boomer ideaisms that they have, but I refuse to believe that they're that bad.
Well, I mean, so I am fairly intimate with a certain organization where I mean, it's not necessarily the case.
Guys, is her boyfriend getting checked?
It's not necessarily
Most likely.
it's not necessarily the case that they do have all of these policies in place, because you require someone to put those policies in place, right? That doesn't happen out of nowhere. So it's possible that they did just boomer finger the entire prod database, and that's all they had. So they boomer fingered it, and then that's just it gone. That can happen.
And I guess I don't know at the national level. I know at a state level, I don't want to get too specific, but I know at a state level, it's highly sus that data was taken directly funneled to another organization, not MC, but run by people from the MC, and then data was, it's kind of hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, total Zulu victory.
Zulu wins. Let's put a double Z in chat. Zal Zulu.
Zulu win. Zio Zulu brothers. African American brothers.
Zeke Zulu.
Zeke Zulu. Zeke Zulu.
There's someone in the chat who has like a profile picture that looks like Bill Kristol, and that reminds me of the Scott Horton debate with Bill Kristol. Now, Bill Kristol can never live down just how bad of a debate performance he had. Like, I think every time he's on Twitter, someone posts like, "Are you like, are you allowed to go out without permission from your father, Scott Horton?" Right? I think the same thing has to happen to Dave Smith. He has to be constantly reminded.
We have to get a double Z in every Dave Smith post anywhere.
Comment section or debate. Every time Dave Smith is debating, if it goes to a live debate, I want to see someone come with like a sign that just has ZZ written on it and just hold it up so you can see it.
Do I get VV tattooed on me, bros?
I mean, it would be great.
This is the total rape of David Smith right here. We all and it's beautiful.
If you don't live in his head already, you live in his head.
By the way,
any possibility of a debate with Manchester Wave on Borders
right now? Hang on.
See?
By the way,
whilst you look up, I do want to say that Chronic, who is here in the call right now, actually, and I had this, by the way, in my notes for quite a while. Chronic did do some work on the thumbnail, so if you like the thumbnail, Chronic has a Ko-fi. He has a buy me a coffee or something, whatever.
Yeah, it's Ko-fi. It's a commission thing. I haven't done commissions in a while though, but I can do them.
Go look at his Ko-fi. Hold on, send me the link. And I'll post in the chat.
Send you the link,
brother.
Send me the link. I'll post in the chat. He did the you see on the thumbnail, there is a certain light shining on the side of Dave Smith's face from the what is it? The bad stocks.
The stock market red light filter,
That was all done by 5 Chronic. So if you liked that, then go throw him a couple bucks. If you have something which you need to be done in that style, then maybe try and commission him. Ask him first, obviously. He might not be available. But
Yeah, I mean, I have my my Ko-fi page set up with the commissions thing, so it has like the slots and everything. I haven't touched it in a while. I've been very busy with uni, but that should be clearing up soon enough. You know, and I've got my drawing set up, fixed up again. But you know, I can do illustrations. I can do thumbnails.
Yeah.
Give me your money. I'll give Zulu your money. He did a lot more work on this video.
Half of Dave Smith's chat right now, it's ZZ.
Nice.
Wait. Where is he streaming? I
sent a link in.
Right now.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah, he like.
Where did you put
What channel did you send it in?
It's in the text chat of the voice channel. It's in the general.
Oh,
text
gotcha.
chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my god, we're gonna ZZ his chat.
All right, let's.
As easy as chat.
Or is being controlled by the Never Trump movement. It doesn't matter. Our eyes are clear on this. We know why we got behind Trump, and we know that we're not getting it. We're getting like
very.
Also, you are taking advantage of people that believe in you the most. All of it is just so wrong, and it's so icky. We're aware of the deals that Jared is doing while you call by Qatar. That Jared is doing in the Middle East.
No, he releases live on his personal website first.
And I'm going.
So this is
not live. It's not live.
Some or actually occupied by the Never Trumpers, and the Never Trumpers have been explicit in the fact that they think that people are dumb, but we're not this dumb. Okay, the MAGA.
Yeah, you have to go to his live to see it live or his premium. It's a special website. But I heard that
thing is,
if you
when he was on
get the link, to the episode, there's nothing making you get an account. You can watch it for free.
Enormously popular, and not right wing. I mean, you can carry half the left wing liberals and leftists. If you just said, "Hey, like here's the platform," like a separation, you know, in the same way we had like a separation of church and state or anything like that, you know, a separation of Israel and separation of LGBT is like a great thing to run on. Get tens of millions of Americans to register. Our goal here is the platform is.
I would caution you. You should not restream it for longer than this.
We're going to start.
I would disable that right now if I were you.
Tax revenue that we bring in every year. That's what we can spend. Okay, we can't borrow and print the money.
Yeah. Don't be careful about restreaming his stream without commenting directly on it.
I do see.
Okay, I think Dave Smith is a retard. I hate him. I think he's being dumb. I'm commenting on him right now. I hate him.
To argue.
I'm gonna mute him right now.
Low Campbell Till.
He looks real dumb. He looks dumb.
Big forehead.
I hate his fucking shirt.
Oh my god.
I hate his tootie.
Campbell Tilt. It's very standard. It's there. Oh my god.
Oh my god, he does have a really. He does have a really hard negative cancel tilt. I don't like Dave Smith. I hate what he's saying.
They literally think we're Mossad right now.
I don't like what he's doing here. I hate his jumper, his hoodie, as the Americans say. I hate it.
Quite seriously, take a look at what he's doing in this, like on Part of the Problem as the show, and in this particular instance, he's talking to Candace Owens, right? And like, you know, as a big principle, you know, Candace Owens, very well-known libertarian. Yeah. I bet, like, what happens if you know, let's interrogate Candace Owens's record on the non-aggression principle. Oh, she doesn't have an opinion on it. I don't think she's ever said anything about it.
No. That's not a criticism. The problem is that she's not promoting libertarianism at any point in this discussion. You know this.
What is he doing?
Voice off. You know this. He has not said anything related to libertarian ethics, the libertarian ideas about how society should be run to this lady, quote unquote, or her audience. And that's why it's an issue, because it's a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is he doing by interviewing Candace Owens? He's not promoting libertarianism, he's promoting Candace Owens, and Candace Owens is promoting him in their, you know, like their like whim-based anti-Israel stance, right? I mean, you know, we don't have to get into the whole like Israel debate on the libertarian front at the moment, but like the point is, Dave Smith, whenever he talks about Israel, he's very much, I don't know. He's always like, let's go back to 1947. Let's go back to 1967. It's never like, let's analyze this from the perspective of whether this is a crime against, like, this is a natural law crime. What's going on here? And who are the criminals? Who needs to be punished? What's wrong here? It's always like the principle, you know, or like the historical analysis from this, you know, broad, sometimes leftist perspective. And I thought to say leftist historians don't have anything to offer on the topic. You know, you can extract meaning from it, but like my point is, it doesn't give you this libertarian angle. It's just Israel. Yeah. I'm like, that's the issue for him. Like, what is he on about? And you know, Candace Owens is not a libertarian, and it's not like her audience is becoming more libertarian by being exposed to Dave Smith. No, and
I don't think she was ever libertarian.
I think more.
She was a leftist once upon a time.
More audience members are getting influenced by Nick Fuentes than fucking any libertarian thinker in like Candace stream and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the stupid masses are always gonna act like stupid masses. Like nothing's gonna change there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
Always bet on nothing.
I'm gonna say this: Liquid Zulu's will be the era that will bring back libertarianism fully. Like,
the Liquid Zulu century, Liquid Zulu millennium. It's
total ginger.
The century of status humiliation.
The century of Dave Smith humiliation. He's gonna from now on. What years?
For nearly 100 years now, since its inception, has been humiliated. Now it is our time.
The Zuluites have absolutely taken over the stream.
We have to rise up and
The century-long rape.
Do you guys think that Dave Smith will be remembered like Benedict Arnold? He'd be like the traitor, the traitor to the movement.
Have you guys seen the videos by Whitest Kid You Know, where it's Gandalf?
Yes.
And it's like, hey, motherfucker, why didn't you, give us these eagles? You could just have these eagles go there. It's like, oh, well, you wouldn't learn the lesson, and then they have this Gandalf raping day where they all rape Gandalf and the point and they all rape Gandalf to the point of barely living. Every year,
do the same with
and every year they have the Gandalf raping day where they let Gandalf get back up to his health. For the rest of the year, he is raped into non-existence. Hold on, let me play this video for the stream.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Also,
we need
everyone who hates Dave. They need to listen to this. I can't reveal the source because the source is a friend of mine. But I think Zulu knows the guy. There is a guy in New York who I know, and he is good friends with Gene Epstein. And I think Gene has literally told him that he's very disappointed in Dave's immigration stance. So Dave's teachers don't like him. So we are not exceptions here.
I mean, to be fair,
Gene Epstein.
I'm gonna mute real quick whilst I play the Gandalf clip. From,
yes, sir.
From Whitest Kid You Know.
Yeah.
Oops.
Mount Doom Frodo. And by dropping the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom, Frodo vanquished Sauron forever and banished him from the land. Gandalf rescued Frodo from Mount Doom by sending a giant eagle into the mouth of the great volcano to pluck Frodo from certain death and return him safely to the Shire. The Fellowship gathered one last time to celebrate their victory.
Hobbits, dwarves, elves, and men, welcome back to the Shire. I've brewed some Hinkleberry Fizzywigs for you all to enjoy. Come, let us celebrate the end of this great war.
Gandalf, what the fuck?
What is it, my little hobbit?
You want to tell me how the fuck long you had a giant goddamn eagle?
Well, I've been friends with the eagle kind for longer than you'd care to know, or I'd care to remember.
Cut the shit, you old fruit. Frodo got stabbed in the arm by a Nazgul.
That hurts!
Well, I'm glad to see that everyone made it home from their journey.
Everyone didn't make it home from their journey. Boromir is dead!
Asshole!
I got lost in the caverns of Mount Doom and had to fight a giant spider. I have nightmares every night.
Well, we all have our nightmares that we must overcome, and...
Everybody shut the fuck up! Gandalf! Why the fuck didn't you just give the Ring of Power to your eagle friend and let him drop it in the caverns of Mount Doom?
Well, eagles cannot be trusted with that sort of immense power. I mean, that sort of power can be very corrupting, so, you know, Frodo is young and stout, as hobbits are wont to be, and he just, you know, I used him.
Well, then you should have had the eagle carry me with the ring in my hand to Mount Doom, then pick me up and bring me back home. Then we would have gotten all of this done much more quickly, and Boromir would still be alive!
Boromir! Oh my god. He's gone. It's just sinking in. It's fine. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you!
I am a wizard, and I will not be interrogated by the likes of you.
No. He's just using this fishing line going from his finger to that light switch over there.
I got a lead pipe in my hand that says this old fuck ain't magic.
There's only one way to find out. And rape him they did. Again and again, repeatedly and repeatedly. They would rape him to death's door and then nurse him back to health. And then rape him back to death's door. They did it again and again throughout the centuries. Gandalf raping became a tradition passed down from ancestor to ancestor, generation to generation. A holiday was created called Gandalf Raping Day, and on this day, once a year, they would stop raping Gandalf and nurse him back to health. But as sure as the sun would rise the next day, the raping was right back on. Until one day in the year 1120, a mischievous young hobbit by the name of Gudu forgot what day it was and raped Gandalf on Gandalf Raping Day, thus not allowing him time to be nursed back to health and killing him. Everyone thought this was hilarious and erected a giant statue of Gudu that stands in Hobbiton Square to this very day.
Yeah, so that is the Where's Kids You Know clip that I was talking about. I can't say anything else about that. You guys like that clip?
Yeah,
Amazing clip.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I love it.
Yeah, absolute cinema.
That was
absolute
cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. That's hilarious. It's the funniest joke Dave Smith's ever told, you see.
Yeah.
True.
That Dave Smith guy, great guy, good with jokes.
How long do you think it'll take for Dave Smith to go down the Molyneux route, where he just like drops the facade altogether?
Oh,
has Molyneux dropped the facade? No.
Well, I haven't watched him in years. I don't know if he tried to like recouple it, but there was a time during like when Trump's first administration where he like took that trip to Poland and basically said that the time for arguments is over, and basically decided, no, I'm just gonna go all in. And that was sort of my moment where I just checked out completely with Molyneux.
I think Zulu said this before, but like for Dave, his libertarian identity is so core to his being. Like you've seen, it was in that stream with like Nick Sarwark, the debate. He was like, "I'm going to be a soldier in the Liberty Movement for the rest of my life because I was recruited by Ron Paul, who is my spiritual father, my liege, and I'm never going to betray Ron Paul." Except he's betrayed Ron Paul every day of his life for the last 20 years or whatever. right?
Yeah.
And so
I think
you know
Pauls
he
are
can't give
pretty
up the
much
name.
against-
You know, it's just who he is in his.
Yeah,
in his,
that's probably right.
It's for his pride, right? But his unearned pride.
Yeah. I think the Pauls have pretty much always been, against the immigration police state. Like both Ron Paul and of course, like Rand Paul can't say too much about it. But if you see his voting record, he has never really voted for, like increasing a lot of these things. And like, why are you against your own alleged hero, Dave? But again, like he's just gonna say, well, things changed, you see. I am a Heraclitean. The nature of the universe changed. The laws of physics changed, and so libertarianism must change.
A is no longer A.
A is no longer A. Libertarianism must no longer be libertarianism.
And I think that actually raises a very important point, like that Zulu kind of touches on in the video, where the lack of a core philosophy binding everything together has been a very big weakness for the libertarian movement, right? Like without objectivism or without like any kind of undergirding principle, the libertarian legal theory can like float around, and the strategy, like you end up having people who are like pragmatists, and their strategy is, well, we're gonna do something else, right? The strategy is a part of like a separate. It's influenced by a separate area of philosophy than just the libertarian legal theory. Like you can have someone who like, nominally agrees with the libertarian legal theory, but because they hold, some mystic epistemology and metaphysics, their idea of how to get libertarianism about is that we're gonna paint ourselves in the blood of a virgin in the wilderness, and then we're gonna dance around a fire. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna download libertarianism into the brain of everyone in the U.S. government, and then we're gonna have the libertarian utopia, right? So like the lack of a coherent this worldly philosophy has sort of held back the ability of libertarianism to form a coherent strategy, and also it also is deeply unattractive as well. Like think about big tentism from the perspective of someone who's very deeply committed to the philosophy, right? Like if we have the tent big enough that like non-libertarians can call themselves libertarians, suddenly I'm not really. This is actually directly in the video. So libertarians, right? Like he talks about, when you try to go to a libertarian party and you try to organize, you end up meeting people who you can't trust, who just like, are like, oh, I'm a libertarian, except that I want the borders to be closed, and I want the immigrants to be sent to El Salvador, and I want the police to check your papers every other day, and I want your guns to be owned by the government, firing pins removed, and I want you to display your ass on the scanner today, every day, for the rest of your life. Like I can't trust that person. That I'm libertarian.
It's very ironic that the people who are supposed to be so good at talking about like monetary policy and talking about like the danger of like fiat money are like, yeah, we need to just have a bunch of fiat libertarians and increase our numbers, our base, and we're just going to call these people libertarians because, well, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's really simple. They're just addicted to losing.
Addicted to losing. I like that.
Okay, hold on. So I just saw, I think it got posted in memes, but Coca-Cola released an AI-generated ad, and then after they posted a second video flexing and fully acknowledging that they did it, and just like bragging about it.
Brother, every day I find a new every day I find a new Zuluite on Twitter, and I get a little bit of happiness from it. I love it.
Don't we all?
Yeah. And by the way, there are like, I'm in India right now, and like, in India there are people who are Zuluites, and most of these people are very young people. So like, this is a very, very wide, very global movement. And right now Zulu is what, at 14,000? Like, I think it's a very good estimate that I have. Like by the end of 2026, it's not unreasonable to assume that we might be at 100,000. And, like these things grow exponentially. So like everyone who's here now, because like I was here since, I don't know, like I think Zulu became a ANCAP 6 months before me, and then he converted me in 6 months. Like that's a great story of itself. And, but, like, I've been here, right? I've been here since the beginning, like, and I've seen the growth, and it's been crazy. Like, I don't think anybody of like, I think we theoretically kind of knew, but like we already always knew that the time will come. But the way it has come now, it's beautiful. But like, I'm very well convinced that we're on the path towards much greater things, and I do believe that because of what I think Nicola was saying earlier on, that you are Nicola, right? I'm just going to assume. So
that's me. Yep.
Yeah. What he was saying earlier on, and I think like I did an interview with Zulu, and we covered it there as well. That the separation of the ANCAP movement and the objectivist movement has been a massive hindrance to both, because whenever the objectivists are talking about legal theory or politics, they're not very good at it, right? And they don't go anywhere with it. And like whenever ANCAPs are talking about anything else, they don't go anywhere. And so once we have this integration, we have literally the strongest philosophy in every field. So it's not just going to be, libertarianism growing into like this pure, strong libertarianism, right? It's going to be a new movement in art. It's going to be a new movement in physics, like that Inductica is doing. It's going to be a new movement in literally every field, including even something as obscure as bodybuilding. You can look up Mike Minzer, right? And and so it's going to, like, you don't understand how big this is, my friends, and this is big.
Think about every other like successful revolutionary or radical political movement. Like they don't restrict their scope, right? Like for instance, the communists, when they didn't restrict the scope of their analysis to like, well, we just want the factories to be owned by the workers, right? No. The communist scope was totalizing, and that was probably a consequence of like the totalizing state being an element of the communist. It was like the communist philosophy was broader than just the politics, right? There was a Marxist philosophy that was beyond political, or rather, it considered the political and the personal and everything else to be one and the same, and so it applies, globally, right? And so there's a communist stance on everything in some sense, right? Whereas libertarianism, like within the legal theory, like that is just insufficient, and the reason that's a problem is people are not motivated when they just hear like, well, just don't initiate conflicts, right? Like that's good. That's good to hear. And like if someone's interested in the ethics of law and conflicts, like that can be attractive. But when you need to reach out to more and more people who are interested in that, you need to be able to touch them on an important topic. It's not like meeting people where they are, but it's like, this is how you should live your life in this other area of your life, and how you can actually have a value in your life, how you can actually live in a rational way, and how it connects to everything else, right? It's integrating rather than disintegrating, right? Like when you do the legal theory and you try to separate it from everything else, like, oh, you can be a leftist libertarian, you can be a rightist libertarian, you can be anything, you can be a mystic, you can be you can believe in anything you want as long as you believe in the NAP, right? Like that's disintegrating, right? You're saying like anyone can be part of this as long as they believe in this thing for whatever magical reason or rational reason or whatever reason they have. Like that is just it's not enough. It doesn't lend yourself to unity, right? You can't have a coherent strategy if the people are incoherent. Like the group that believes in this thing is incoherent because they don't have the same beliefs. They don't have the same grounding philosophy.
Yeah.
And also, lacking a backbone, right?
Just
lacking a backbone.
But just in case you guys understand how powerful these all-encompassing philosophies are, Marxism is very shit. Like you read Marx or you do any kind of an analysis of Marx, it's just very shit. And yet it almost took over the world, right? Because they had an answer to almost everything. Like they had a coherent philosophy behind them. They could rely on Hegel, who could rely on Kant, right? Like there was this whole philosophical superstructure. And now we have a far, far, far logically better one in everything through the anarcho-objectivist movement. This is the most important movement in human history, mark my words.
Including strategy, hold on. Somebody said except strategy. No, including strategy. Yeah, especially strategy. Nobody else can come into this and say, and actually validate the Isaiah's job strategy. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else is validating it. In my video, I validate the Isaiah's job strategy. Like, that is
I agree with that one.
absent everywhere else. We, the anarcho-objectivists, are able to validate that strategy. That is unique. That is what is unique to us, because we have everything right. We got all of the previous philosophy, and we get the correct legal theory. We get it all right. So
we got the whole enchilada, baby, right? The whole enchilada.
We got the whole enchilada. So we are just correct, and we can actually validate the good strategies of the past.
Yes, strategy on your knowledge of the facts of reality, right? Like you formulate a strategy based on you have some desired outcome, and you know the principles of what is happening in the world and how things change, right? Based on principle, right? Not just on whatever seems to work at the moment based on my intuition that's based on whim, right? That's the difference between pragmatism and objectivist thought about, like, you know, how to progress to some goal. You have principles, you understand why things happen and when and for what reason, right? And by applying those principles, you can identify this strategy will actually be effective. It will actually lead to the desired outcome.
I agree. You know, I agree with that. I just disagree with the libertarian Leninist strategy. I think you become the criminal by becoming the state, basically, as like Millet does.
Well, think about what this means, like libertarian Leninist strategy, right? The libertarian Leninist strategy, if you infiltrate like true libertarians into the state, right? Like let's say you have like a true libertarian in the political office of the presidency, right? What is criminal about the actions of the president? The president authorizes actions that are against the non-aggression principle, right? But if you introduce a real libertarian there, that libertarian does not have to authorize any actions. They can say, I do not authorize actions against the non-aggression principle. So if you're in the government and you follow the presidency, you follow the president, you know, let's say that we have an absolute presidency, right? The president says, I do not authorize any actions against the non-aggression principle, and the government disintegrates tomorrow if everyone's a good order follower. Or you end up having a civil war where like the deep state, right, is like, I don't believe in the president, I'm gonna have a civil war, and then you have like the true president followers, right? Or think about this scenario, like now instead of just having the president, you infiltrate like 30% of the government with libertarians, right? And everyone who's in those offices, they're like, I am not going to violate the non-aggression principle when I'm working here, right? So I'm not going to distribute stolen goods to other people. So like if let's say everyone in the welfare state, everyone who has a job there is actually libertarian now, right? Like the welfare state just stops working, it just evaporates. So to the extent that libertarians infiltrate the state, right? But that's not even like necessarily the Leninist strategy. The Leninist, when we talk about libertarian Leninism, we talk about opportunism versus adventurism, right? We're talking about like identifying whether being a hardcore, like rejecting any kind of advance, that being the adventurous, like doing nothing except trying to build it yourself, versus the opportunist who only ever acquiesces to the existing power structures, right? The libertarian Leninist strategy is when you're identifying neither of these two extreme ends are actually like a primary. They're not actually a principled stance. They are sort of extreme ends on a spectrum of strategies that can be applied at different times based on different circumstances, right?
Yeah.
And that's
go watch the libertarian Leninism video, everybody. Like it's an old certified hood classic. I know a lot of new members. Yeah, I know a lot of new members of the movement might not know it, but it's very important. Go watch it. It's very good.
It sounds crazy. Libertarian.
Link it in the chat. It would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to agree with it, but I've since read the Liberty Shrugged paper. I'm
gonna read it. Like, Zetetic, if it's possible, would you want to be like? I want to interview one of these, you know, agorist. Like I want to interview an agorist, like preferably.
Something else I'd like to point out is that when you look at the Bolshevik Revolution, a major part of that was building parallel institutions rather than infiltrating the existing state structure.
yeah.
Like what is a Soviet? Like a Soviet, literally in the sense, is it's a council, it's like a workers' council. It's a political body that was constructed separately to the existing, monarchic state structures, right? And so what they did was they just built the Soviets, and they constructed these alternate governing structures that they existed insofar as the state allowed them to exist, right? And then as the state became weaker and weaker due to their behavior, the existing structure, they took on more and more responsibility and power until they just became the government. And so what's the libertarian version of that? Instead of building like your own alternate government, you build your own alternate anarchic system, right? So like, let's say right now, the government doesn't allow you to form private police, right? But you can collect the resources and like the people, the connections to form a private police company when the time comes that private policing becomes legal. And this is actually, I think this addresses one of the big, oh, you're living in Ancapistan in your head. What about a collapsitarian? You're a collapsitarian, right? Like, no, if you're properly strategizing, right? And you're seeing that the state is disintegrating, right? Let's say, we get rid of the borders and suddenly, 1 million Mexican criminals enter the United States. Well, you know what's a good solution to that is what we do is we're going to start allowing people to hire private police so that they can actually prosecute these criminals on their own and have them sent back, or like, have them sent into prisons for actual crimes, not for crossing the border, right? For like, raping or stealing or whatever. And so suddenly the criminals, they won't be so happy to cross the border, even though there's no ICE around. There's still, agents of, private property owners are like, actually, I don't want you to come into my property and like steal my donuts and piss on my lawn. And, and so suddenly you could see the direction the arrow is pointing. The arrow is pointing towards Ancapistan. We are moving towards Ancapistan by building our own parallel structure. As the state is disintegrating, we bring in, the ANCAP solution to the problem, rather than going, no, we must close the border. We must have ICE guards. We must have tanks and Tiananmen Square on every street, crush everyone, papers please, show me your ass, face the ground.
They already do this, right? There are such a thing called gated communities, right? For example, India, like in the place that I live in India, like of course, like India has like a lot of criminal types as well. Like it's a third world country. There are bad things here. I just live in a gated community, and there is private security. Like this place that I live in, like if tomorrow ANCAP came about, nothing would change in my life. Like at least in my neighborhood.
I think that this is like an interesting conversation about practical means, and it's important to eventually end up in a place where we live in somewhat close proximity, gated communities, private police, exploiting every vulnerability that the state provides, things like religious communities, exemptions. A good model for this are the Amish Mennonites in the United States. They're exempt from so many things that enable them to be free, and all of these are potential loopholes. But I think what's more important and more in the nature of this video is the approach of how you should appear personally. What is your role online, which is you are part of a cool radical movement. You have you don't have to compromise, you don't have to grovel, but there is a requirement for this. We all have to aim at self-improvement, at the improvement of our presentation. And this is something that all of the other movements that are currently on the rise are doing extensively. They have their own memes. They have a certain uniformity to them. And when they appear in public, they actually take care to appeal to some kind of an ideal. And so that means that all of you fat fucks have to go to the gym now.
I'm not I'm a skinny fuck. But same point.
I'm muscular and I ride a motorcycle. I'm gonna be the
Let's go.
I will say
it means everybody has to say ZZ in chat right now. Zal Zulu in chat right now.
Zeke Zulu.
Zeke Zulu in chat right now.
and this is a personal issue of mine as well, in the sense that I want more of you guys to, be that jacked. And being jacked is not hard, by the way, because we have basically a liquid Zulu of fitness, which is Mike Menzer, and I've been following his routines, and I'm lifting around 110 kilograms on my chest right now. So, and you could get there in 6 months. All right. Cool. So go do it. And you just have to work out like twice a week. This guy has figured out fitness as a theory. Like he has a theory of fitness, like we have a theory of libertarianism. And go check it out. Go read his books. Go look at his.
Dude, that's what I want to hear.
I'm before I don't go to the gym. There's gonna be the Giga Jack Zulu army. There's like everyone on the street. You just see someone who's jacked, you're like, oh, that's a liquid Zulu follower, and we're gonna organize. It's gonna be an army, and that on that day, the state we'll just see all the state. Like, have you seen videos of ICE agents who are like just like folds of fat flowing out of their plate carrier, like they're stumbling out of their truck, like, "He's an illegal immigrant, get it!" And they just start like rolling on the street trying to get some illegal immigrant. And the only way they can stop someone from running away is like holding onto their legs, and their sheer weight is just too much for the immigrant to handle. Like, no, he's too heavy. I can't escape. And what's gonna happen is like they're gonna try to send those people after us, but we're gonna be too jacked. They're gonna try to hold us down, and we're just gonna stand up and like a figure from an Ayn Rand novel, like, and you're just gonna shrug them off, and you're gonna walk into the Capitol on January 6th, 2028, and
that's so true.
America.
Zig
Zulu.
Zig Zulu. Zig Zulu. Zig Zulu.
And by the way, I want you guys, and there are people out there, by the way, like this. Like, I know personally of 3 now, but I believe there will be more. Like, of course, there was Ayn Rand and Rothbard themselves, but like people who are, people who are theory builders in various fields. Like, if you're interested in a field, try to find an objectivist theory builder in that field. Like, if you're into fitness, there's Mike Menzer. If you're into political theory, there's Zulu. If you're into, let's say, physics, there is Inductica. If you guys know of more, hit me up with that. But like
psychology, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is Brandon, and after that there is also Jean Maroney, who is like Harry Binswanger's wife, but like, of course, they are like more traditional objectivists. So she is a theory builder. She's amazing, but I don't think she'll be very comfortable being in our movement. But she is a theory builder nonetheless. It doesn't work. Mike Menzer's dead, so like we can adopt him. That's okay. So I would say that
he's ours now.
Yeah, and I would say, and by the way, you could adopt Jean Maroney too. Like, there is no reason. Like, you could adopt the theory without adopting the person, right? Like, you could respect her from a distance, even if she's not part of the movement. And so
ecological psychology, G.
Yeah,
you praise it from the distance.
Exactly. And so try to find these theory buildings, and let's.
I need to collect as many theory builders as possible.
Yeah,
become the one omega theory.
That's the goal, right? Like, that's the goal. That all of this integrates into the same theory. Like
a fully integrated life in every aspect. That's my goal.
Exactly. And so, for example, like, there are Mike Menzer fans out there who are really into fitness and who are really into his theory of fitness, but they don't know anything about Zulu. So like, try to integrate all of these things so that, this becomes a one audience, one movement. And that's going to be beautiful. Like, we're going to take over every single field of human knowledge. And that's what's happening.
Hell yeah.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yo, Zulu. I just want to say, man, that was an incredible video, and I was stoked to briefly be a part of it. But yeah, awesome job, man. Everyone needs to do whatever they can to spread this message and to get this video out there, because it's truly like the next big step in the liberty movement has been done in the creation of this video. So well done, man. It was incredible. I know it was a lot of work that went into it, so you did an incredible job, and yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Also, there is some there is something, the first funny thing that I'll point out, like, if you go back and watch the video when Dave Smith is talking and he's giving his old spiel, Like I think it's like a cut from a Twitter space, and in like for 1 second you can hear Monhop saying, "Let me speak" in his Australian accent, and it's very funny.
I didn't notice that. I'm pretty sure that was me. I was like, oh, that's my actual feature in the video. I got my voice into the video, so I can officially claim that now.
Yeah,
Monhop is part of the Zulu canon.
Yep. And also,
the Zulu birds.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I was one of the people that bite the bullet. So yeah, I was in the video.
I bite the bullet. Conscription is bad, guys.
Conscription's literally slavery.
Oh yeah. Liberty Fire was there too. That was sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also,
right, Zulu, I have a question, real quick.
Go ahead.
So, do you ever plan on like outmoding the moniker anarcho-objectivist and just moving on to objectivist? Like, is there a point in the culture when it's established that Rothbardian legal norms are the natural result of objectivism that you would simply start redefining the movement as objectivism proper?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's
I
doing
already am talking about myself as an objectivist. So I don't think that there is a point at which I switch to talking about myself as an objectivist. I think because I do believe that what I am preaching is the proper objectivist manifesto, I just have always been doing that.
I think what's useful to note here is I think anarcho-objectivist is used to distinguish ourselves primarily when we're talking to other objectivists, right? So like when someone is an objectivist, they're like, I'm a closed system, a Randroid objectivist. And like, well, I'm arguing for the anarcho-objectivist position. That's the position that true objectivism is anarchism, right? That's the true objectivist policy.
Yeah, the sub-position.
I think a lot of people, when they hear objectivists, they think like freaking Bioshock or something, though. Like Andrew Ryan. Fictional
Fucking
stuff.
shitpost rock.
That'll change. That'll change as we grow. Don't worry about that. Right? Like that's how cultures are.
Yeah, my funny thing how he mentioned, whenever somebody like think of a Bioshock, you had a guy named Tax Brass. He like the same 3D thing that Mantis does. He really liked him, by the way, right? Probably like a Bible. Anyway, he actually did like a whole critique about Bioshock. How it like doesn't accurately represents the anarcho-capitalism. So yeah, check out the video. I'll post in the chat.
There's a video of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like Tax Brass. Yeah, I think Tax Brass is also moving to the anarch position slowly. And I like anarcho-objectivist because it just distinguishes ourselves, right? Like we are the cool kids here.
I think that distinction is necessary as long as there is this bifurcation in the objectivist movement. But I think what's important to recognize is anarcho-objectivist is not like a separate thing from objectivism. Anarcho-objectivist is the argument that the true features of objectivism, the true position of objectivism is the anarchist position, right? Like it's a species of first you accept open objectivism, that objectivism is not just what Ayn Rand said, it is a theory about something specific, and then you accept objectivism is the theory of the primacy of existence in all areas of philosophy, and then you accepting the primacy of existence means that the legal theory must be anarchism, and that makes you an anarcho-objectivist, right? And so that's what it means to be an anarcho-objectivist, as opposed to like a statist. But once like statism as an objectivist theory is eradicated, like is no longer believed, anarcho-objectivist becomes redundant. It's like being a globe Earth astronomer, right? Like that's the default position in astronomy. Like maybe 10,000 years ago when there was an astronomy debate about the flat Earth versus the globe Earth, right? You could say, I'm a globe Earth astronomer, right? Or I'm a flat Earth astronomer, because that is a debate in the astronomy subject. But now when that debate is over, it's redundant, right?
It is.
I think
And
then it would be better to
I
just call
agree.
it as the logical conclusion of the belief of the premises, because it's not a separate argument on itself. It's just a if you get Ayn Rand's philosophy to its logical conclusion, that's what you get. It's in fact the ones who go into the closed system are the ones who are actually engaging in some very stinky nominalism and not really pertaining to the philosophy anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that in his debate with
oh yeah,
what is his name? Yeah, it was just using the excuse of a proper noun to sneak in nominalism.
And a philosophy's name can't be a proper noun. It's not a person or a thing. I think Casimir pointed that out. We can't just proper noun a philosophy. Like that's not how proper nouns work.
Oh yeah, it's not a philosophy anymore. It's just
a proper noun refers to a particular, like a proper noun is referring to a specific object, and objectivism is not a specific object. It doesn't have a physical form. It is it's an idea. It's a piece. It's the same thing with the intellectual property debate, right? Like intellectual property people, they try to sneak in this theory that like an idea is a specific thing, and it can be it's scarce, right? There's the idea that it's a scarce object, right? It's the same sort of, I don't know what to call it. Like it's a category error, right? Like an idea is not a specific object, and so the same thing is like I can't apply a proper noun to like something that isn't a specific object. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And by the way, I really, really like
it's like ideal realism. I think it was something.
I think that's
Ideal realism. Never heard of that. What is ideal realism?
It's just like I don't know. You explain. Go ahead.
I recently read Man Economy, and Stady kept on harping on treating the theory as if it was the real thing instead of. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
I don't
also,
remember like exactly.
Yeah, I would like to say this in the sense that like I really like Michael Leibowitz I really like Michael Leibowitz most of all of the closed objectivists, because he's like really into like talking about things, right? And like I have talked to him a bunch about this. I have this fleeting belief that one day I will convert him, and so I really, really like the guy because like one, he's a nice person, and two, like he's very open to conversation. And another thing, just an aside, by the way, that joke that he made about the NAP, it was a joke, and he almost immediately backpedaled it in the next line. So I think we were a little hard on him, but that's okay. And that's okay. But it's a Twitter thing, right? And
Michael,
I would say that
think there's a good chance you might convert him because, as said before, I think we said this on a previous thing. He's an honest man. Like he's a man who's he's curious and honest about things. So like when you present the ideas to him properly, he's likely to consider them, and on consideration, he'll convert. Inshallah.
And also,
I agree. That's why I have a great amount of respect for him.
Yes, and just for you guys to like love him even more, like I actually just when he was going to Leonard Peikoff's birthday, I just asked him as a favor to like come to Dr. Peikoff for you doing all of this great work, and he actually did it, and he told me, and like that made my week, man. And so like he's a very, very nice person. I really like him. And even if he's wrong on certain things, and that's okay. Like people can be wrong, like they can change with time. And so yeah, that's about Leibowitz. But like also like if you just think about where our movement is going, like think 15 years from now where we will be, right? And of course, like I really believe that like the Zulu's audience will grow. Other people are also creating YouTube channels. There is Fabian. I'm trying to do something as well. And like right now I have basically very little money of my own. Like I have like access to some things, but not enough. But like with time, as I make more money, I'll also invest in my own things and, in Zulu and Fabian as well. So like there might be, like there's a tremendous growth coming here that I see. And so I think the next step might be in like 20 years from now for us to have like a physical place to be. And I think that might be the Free State Project in New Hampshire, and that might also be the reason that open borders is so important. Like we need our people there, right? Like,
yeah, like for the first time in a long time, I've started to become genuinely afraid of moving to the US. Like for the past 4-6 years, I was always thinking I think someday I'll move to the US, and people have called me crazy. Like, no, the gun laws are so loose over there, and you don't have to send it to me. That's exactly what I'm doing. But now that I get videos, I see these fucking stormtroopers on the streets, dragging random people away. Getting them into the vans, getting into the boxcar. Everyone remember them calling us boxcar libertarians? Well, guess who's operating the boxcars today, right? It's the people who you voted for, right?
It's the libertarian president of the United States. It's the most libertarian president of the United States.
You see, as the United States, I'm a libertarian. I'm a boxcar libertarian. I'm gonna start moving the boxcars. We're gonna be deporting you all to El Salvador in the boxcars, right?
You go.
That's the thing. I'm genuinely afraid of moving to the US because of this border policy, right? So you see how Dave Smith immediately, Dave Smith, I'm bringing this back to him, right? This obsession with borders has alienated people, and the movement towards this closed border policy for pragmatic reasons is pushing away real libertarian progression by obviously just look at it.
Yeah.
By the way,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of these people, they say that, we must not betray our people for libertarianism, the American people or whatever people. My people are not the American people or the Indian people or I don't know any people. My people are the libertarians, right?
My people are the rationals, the rational libertarians, anarcho-objectivists.
Exactly. And I will always work in their interests. And their interests are in following the philosophy, right? I don't really give a shit about anything else, in all honesty. I just don't, right? I care about this movement. I care about myself first and foremost. And I hold this philosophy to be true and beautiful, the most beautiful thing in the world. And thus, I care about my heroes in this philosophy. And I care about my people in this philosophy. And the best thing for them is to get to New Hampshire as soon as possible and build something there. We can build universities there which teach these things, by the way, because what do you do when you have an entire system of philosophy? Well, you bring those people together and you have a university, then you're churning out those people, professionals in every field every year by the thousands even. And if you have enough universities, by the millions, right?
And look at what you're advocating here. Look at you're advocating parallel institutions, like I said before. I copy the idea. You're gonna have to pay me royalties now. I'm joking. Don't kill him.
He's violating the nap.
Kill him.
You must be able
to burn it toes. Burn it toes, anyway. Burn it toes. Anyway, burn Aces.
Yeah.
Make it work. Like job.
Mm-hmm. And and also in terms of parallel economies, I once again will not say too much. I will not say if I engage in this or not. But recently, the Indian government, they put a bunch of taxes on Bitcoin, but they're getting no revenue from it because the entire Bitcoin community just never reveals that they have Bitcoin. And so
what Bitcoin, man?
I just don't know about Bitcoin. I really don't know what you're talking about. Man. I've never heard of that.
It sounds like fake, made up. That sounds made up to me. I don't know anything about that.
That sounds like a scam, in all honesty, right?
Yeah, it just sounds like made up money. Yeah.
Look, even if that was the case, it's not an issue because we have other alternatives here, and it's fine. And I don't think I need to go in detail, but
Yeah. So alternative economies work and they exist right now, and we can build our own, and it's not hard, and we can do it. Right.
That's one of the things I do like about agorists.
Yeah, that's the thing. I disagree with some of the positions that agorism has, but one thing that I really respect is that I've never seen a pragmatist agorist. Have you ever seen a pragmatist agorist? Their principles might be slightly different.
Agorists are.
At least they fucking stick to them, right?
Yeah, they are genuinely taking action, and they're mostly. I mean, I'm not an expert, but they're mostly aligned with us.
Yeah, the agorists is respectable.
Private property.
They're so heavily committed to principle that they are they're almost afraid to like look at a different strategy, even in case it even if it is within principle. Like for instance, what I described earlier, the libertarian president who gets into office just to say anyone who violates the map beneath me, you're violating the orders of the president. That is against the agorist position in theory, right? Like the agorists are against voting because they think voting is against the principle. They're wrong about that, but what's important to note is that they are for principles, and that is a very important thing that is an ally, right? That person's you can convince because that's a person who's genuinely a libertarian. They are just, they're honest. In the same way Michael Leibowitz is honest. Like Michael Leibowitz, he might not be an anarchist, but he's honestly trying to pursue the truth. He's trying to pursue principle, and he's someone you can convince. He's an ally, right? He's a truth seeker, right? That's what makes him an ally. Whereas the pragmatist has substituted their desires for truth, right? What is true is what gets me what I want, right? So libertarianism can be true today, but it won't be true tomorrow. Whereas for Michael Leibowitz, for him, the anarcho-capitalist position is untrue, not because it might change today or tomorrow, but because he hasn't, validated the principle for himself. He's not sure. He doesn't know what he thinks there's an argument against it. That it fails some test, some real objective test that you can prove to him.
Exactly.
And that's one of the bigger reasons I have more respect for him than any Prague.
Yeah, exactly. And I would always that's why I want to know more about agorists, right? Especially there is also a small group of people who call themselves objectivist agorists, and I want to know more about those people. I disagree with them on basically just voting, right? Basically just voting.
Yeah.
And voting's not that important anyway. But but I would say that reading some of agorist theory and learning some of those parallel economy stuff, that might really be helpful for us as well. And because we should prosper, right? In the sense that if just take the case of the Bitcoin example that I gave, the state can never know if you're just smart about it, right? And so because literally that's the technology, and with more privacy coins coming around like Zcash or Monero, they'll just never know,
Zcash,
right? And
anyway, I think that's all for today. I have to say, I'll see you guys later. Take care.
See you.
Bye. And also, I'll point out something. It's funny how we talk about how Trump is the most libertarian, how some people say Trump is the most libertarian president, but he didn't even shut down the government. Damn, did that. That is so ironic to me. The people multi state, advantage government, shut down the government. The irony is unreal.
Exactly. And also, it is something to be very mad about, in the sense that the way he has expanded ICE, and he has made it way larger. Is one of the biggest expansions of internal government police, right? Because a lot of people, they say this about oh, big government is the enemy, but yeah, it is. But the size, there's two aspects to this. It's the size of the government, and it's the teeth of the government. This man is expanding the teeth of the government aimed at the internal population. And sure, now it's immigrants, but when you either Trump's mind changes, or you hand power over to a goddamn socialist, right? And if you think Zoran Mamdani getting elected in New York is not symbolic of a certain trend, you are missing a point, right? If a certain type of socialists get elected, and they have this goddamn army, huge ass army, who to just go after internal people, people inside the country, they can just label anybody as an immigrant. Who's gonna say, right? They can deport you to El Salvador. Go ahead, try it. And maybe they'll deport you to Venezuela, right? Try proving your citizenship in the Venezuelan slavery camp, right? So remember that the state telling you that right now they're just going to go after the bad people with all of these new guns that they have just purchased on your tax money. they're gonna lie to you. This is the state, by the way. This is everything it says. Nearly everything it says is a goddamn lie. So never believe it, right? Like if they're building fences around you and getting drugs and giving them guns, better believe it will be used against you. They don't like these thugs sitting around doing nothing, right?
There's going to be amen to that, but going back a little bit to the oh man, I forgot their name just now. To those lovely people, that you mentioned right before, the agorists, of course, the agorists.
Yes.
There's going to be there will have to be, maybe not by Liquid Zulu, but there will have to be a video about the agorists, because in their movement there is also kind of an error. And the error there is that they are, for the most part, at least the majority I've noticed on social media, they are very, very lazy and yet extremely outspoken. So this, if you read their original texts, there is nothing new there. There is nothing that Rothbard didn't write. There's nothing particularly unique. They're just very mainstream. And so you read there and you try to think, well, what makes this different from anarcho-capitalism? Why are there not just ANCAPs? Why is the whole Agora mentioned before? And there is a cult of personality there of a person that didn't really introduce anything sufficiently new. And then there is an issue, is that when they're locked on that person's identity, and they're locked on arguments they don't really learn how to support because they're reading ends with that person, they're very loud at denouncing other people's arguments, at arguing against voting, at claiming that somebody is libertarian or not libertarian. And I see very little agorism in their actions. I don't see, there's no agorist commune that is posting videos on X from New Hampshire. There's no people showing how they're plowing their own fields and they're collecting, rainwater and doing all of this off the grid stuff and building their own nuclear reactor. None of that exists. So it's all it smells of a hype movement around a personality. And while, yes, you are correct, they're still decent allies, so maybe we shouldn't deal with them at this time. They're definitely not the healthiest addition to the movement. Not even to the movement, just the idea.
Mm-hmm. I have not personally looked too deep into the agorists. It's just that I've not seen one who has committed as big of transgressions against liberty as, let's say, Dave Smith has. So that's why I'm kind of interested. What are these people talking about? Because I have not seen a bad, destructive advocating agorist. But you might be right. They might be not doing a lot of I don't know yet. I have not personally looked into it. That's why I want to talk to more of them. Also, they might just not be talking about this because if they talk about it, the state might come after them. But they might also just be a cult of personality. I'll have to look into the entire thing, the Konkin stuff, and I've not gone into it. There might be some value there, or there might not be. I'll look into it.
And I want to say that I'm so happy the group is making it we're moving forward. And I think it's a better word that you can tell. But I'm just happy that I'm able to be a part of such an awesome movement based on truth, reality, and I was looking buff as like a motherfucker, buff motherfucker, and stuff. But I'm I'm not glad to be a part of the group, and I plan make a website some kind, with this philosophy in my mind, and if you talk on the chat, I can look at you I get so autistic about philosophy and all this, and had someone read this the history of philosophy thing, Leonard Peacock's library, the history of philosophy, and I plan on checking that out because website gonna put the philosophy and all that good stuff, So I'm you guys the coolest people ever. Like you guys are like base people, people like on the planet. I think we're like 20 IQ points higher than like most of the population, and like right. So yeah, it's all based on reality. You have to give lifts up individuals that are stomping them down like cigarettes. Cigarettes will let people up and stuff. I kind of wrong a bit on, but basically, this movement is going all the way. After we take over the U.S., we're going to take over the whole planet, and next the moon, and then Mars. Sorry, Elon, we're taking Mars. Mars, you can't stop us. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Space capitalism.
Space capitalism.
It's the one place not. It's the one place not corrupted by socialism. That whole guy got it. That guy got it backwards. It's the one place not corrupted by socialism. Space.
The greatest cutscene of all time. Man, I kind of hate how every video game became a walking simulator when we had such gem cutscenes. Oh well.
I contemplate Tetris, Pong, pretty much classic arcade game, and I contemplate classic arcade game at that point. Tetris, Pong, the gaming industry kind of sucks, and I don't want to give money to it. All the freaking get all the AI stuff, and yeah.
I mean, there always is, pirating something.
Oh no, the pirate things.
I mean, DM me. Just DM people, brother. Just if you don't know, DM people. That's how you do. And I would say that, like, my general view, tell me if I'm wrong here. This is a question to Zulu and everybody else. So my general view is that, regarding the intellectual property issue, that of course, it is, bad to have intellectual property, but there is an argument there of, personal morality, in the sense that if you are, let's say, if you are consuming and using art, try to support the artist that there is, that the art is creating. It's just a recognition of, the source of the art. Oh, it's my turn. What the fuck do I do?
Credit.
Credit. Maybe
I think it's purely in your best interest if you genuinely enjoy a creator to support them so they can make more art for your own consumption. So yeah, there's definitely an argument there.
Yeah. And that's how I generally view it. I just want to, if I really like an art piece, I want to support the creators. If I don't, I don't. But I don't think there is that's what the IP people are getting at, right?
I win.
GG.
Congratulations.
All right, I'm gonna go now. Yeah.
All right.
All right. What
What's
is
this?